That's not a fun experience. That's an expensive trip for 2 hours of daylight.
So luckily, my buddy Ben and we brought a sleeping bag because he wanted to go sleep on the glacier. He wanted to go camping on the glacier.
I love this.
And I was like, we'll just like buy a tent when we get there, right? But I brought sleeping bags, so they ended up being too stormy, so we didn't do that. But we slept in the car along the way because sometimes you get to a part and the road was just impassable. And so we just sleep in the car, and then the wind was like, I think it was like 80 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour the whole time we were there. And so the car is just like rocking.
Oh, it's just like rocking.
Sure, it was the wind.
I was going to say, are you still friends with Ben?
Excellent trip.
Don't die that way, don't they?
Scoop that guy up on his lift.
Next time Ben tells you he wants to go somewhere with you, I think you need to do your own
research.
I mean, we still had fun.
Of course you did. Oh, you've got stories. Stories.
Run it by all of us to make sure we approve.
I remember when Kevin and I, after
that was a fire truck,
cross
I think.
country.
Yeah, it had blue lights. I've never seen a fire truck with blue lights.
We were trying to find a hot springs, and like we were driving and driving and driving down these really sketchy roads, and finally we had to pull over and sleep because it was so late. We could never find the hot springs. That was when Hail Bop was out in the sky. And I remember like putting things up because I was like, it was such a sketchy part. I was like, we're gonna like get murdered.
Where
in
was
our
this?
car.
When you went cross country? Oh.
Yeah, when we did cross country. Well, we went once where we drove up this road, and there was this beautiful graveyard. It was so serene and stuff. And so we stopped, we pulled over, and we were like checking out the graveyard. And I think it was like some Indian reservation or something. And people we came back. There was a blood red paintball across our windshield. We were so spooked, so somebody did not want us there.
Blood red.
Yeah, it was.
Tell them about your
It was
Casadega.
like near Taos, New Mexico.
Let me know.
I want to hear it. Wait, did she bring you to the hotel? Is this the spooky hotel?
Oh yes,
The haunted
Tell us
hotel?
about that.
You've heard this.
Yes, we
Yeah,
have.
I think Michelle's told us.
What did you say?
I think Michelle told
They
us the
came up
story.
with this idea to go to Casadega, which is like a psychic town. It's like literally 3 blocks psychic town, right? So I told Sue, I'm like, so Chantel's going with her mother-in-law, who is like a medium, and then Sue and I went separately to
They
meet
said a
them.
comedian.
Medium.
A median, gotcha.
Medium.
Makes more sense.
So I said, Sue, I don't mind going, but I'm not staying at the Casadega Hotel because it's haunted. I don't do that stuff well. Sure enough, Sue books us at the Casadega Hotel. So we go in and we have lunch there, and then we went up and we did like a seance, and then we did some individual stuff, and the people were pretty smart. They were pretty good, stuck on like their readings. They were really good. Like, I'm a huge skeptic when it comes to that, but they were pretty spot on. So anyway, so we put our stuff in the room, and then we all went out to dinner, and then
We went back to our hotel.
yeah, they went back to their hotel, and Sue's
not
like,
that
let's see a
haunted.
movie. So this movie she picks is like vampires.
Abraham
Lincoln, the Vampire Slayer.
Great movie, though.
Yeah, but
It's a great
Michelle
movie.
cannot watch anything scary.
I don't do
Okay.
scary. Okay. So Casadega is this really small little town, like out, like far from anything else. So there's like no lights out there. So by the time we're headed
not what
back.
your dad told me about the
Oh,
weather.
So wait, so when we're leaving the hotel, the lady says, here's a key for the back door because nobody's here after 5. Well, why is nobody at the hotel after 5? Okay. So we take the key, we come, so we're coming back, it must be like after 10, it's like 10:30.
It was at like midnight.
It was really late. So like you're coming back, there's no light, so you get the weeping willow trees, and it's dark, and I don't even think the road was paved. Like, or if it was sketchy paved. So we pull in, and literally no joke, a black cat like really runs in front of our car.
Nice.
Okay, so then all right, let's back up a little bit. So they told us when we checked in that there's a little girl that plays on the front porch who died there, and she plays ball all night long. And then there's some guy who roams the hall who's in charge of all the doors. And then there was like some other person.
The little boy that likes to play jokes, I think.
The little boy that likes to play jokes, right? So.
And do they say all this with a straight face?
Oh yeah. Oh no,
they're
they're dead
deadly
serious. So I don't know what the guy's name was. George is in charge of like all the door locks, right? Something like that. So then we go to park the car and we go to the door, and she's trying to, and there was like one light on. There was like rooms on the exterior side, and there was like one light on right next to the door. And we go to open the door. No joke, the lock was messed up. We couldn't even get the key in the door, right? So we're
They said
messing
the
with it, we're
hardware's
messing
like
with
hanging
it.
off the.
Yeah, it was like
Like,
all messed
it's
up.
all-
Like you couldn't even get the key in the door. We're like, what's going on? What does this one do? Goes and knocks on the door with the light on. Like 12 o'clock at night, somebody's gonna answer the door.
Oh my god.
Haunted.
Yeah, it's in a haunted hotel.
They find out later that this lady had too much to drink, and instead of letting her drive home, they gave her this room. So this lady's in her room drunk, and she's
Shivering.
hearing,
Yeah.
"Can we come in?"
Nice.
And you're not scared, right? You're loving it, but she's scared.
Well, she's getting so freaked out. It's just hysterical.
She's laughing up.
I'm laughing.
So
but
then she's
she's
like, Michelle, go to the front porch and see if that door is open. I'm like, I'm not going. There's a little girl playing on the porch. You're crazy. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, split up. That's just what you do. Split up.
There's a chainsaw right over there. An axe for it. Let's split up.
Just get in the running car.
Yes! Right! Love that commercial!
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
So then we look across the way from the hotel. There's like an open sign still in one of the medians. We're like, well, let's go see if he knows anybody at the hotel because we don't have a phone number. We can't get in. All our stuff is upstairs. So we go and we knock on this door, and I swear, all you see is this huge silhouette coming towards the door, and he opens the door, and it's literally like a scary movie. Right? And he looks at us, and he's like, we're like, hey, we're staying at the hotel across. I don't associate with those people. Get off my property. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like freaking out. And she's got a freaking Fiat, right? So we get in this Fiat, and this, I felt like Flintstone. Like this car wasn't moving.
So now we're just decided to go find a hotel, I think. So we're driving
With
out
no
of
clothes.
town on a dirt road with the oak
Weeping
trees,
willows.
with the Spanish moss.
Here comes Angela's
There's
Walkman.
no light, so it's just our two little, head beams. And then I say to Michelle, I think that guy from the house is following us.
Seriously, red light to the highway. No. I'm like, get this car moving. So then we get to
Sue
the
slows
highway.
down.
She's just dying. So then we get to the highway, and there's still no lights on the highway because you're in the middle of Florida, right? So what she do? She calls Rob, speakerphone, on the little Fiat. Okay, you got speakers here and here because there's no back seat, so you gotta like surround
It
it.
had a
with
back
speakerphone.
seat.
So I'll let Rob tell this part.
So they're telling me the story, and I'm just laughing. And all of a sudden, I'm like, kill.
And surround sound, okay?
And she's screaming.
I'm losing my shit, right? We get off at the next exit, which felt like 20 freaking miles, right? We get up the next exit, we check into the hotel, because we have no stuff, so then...
Did you have any money?
We have
Save
it.
your wallet. Yeah.
So then we go into the room and I'm like, Sue,
Can
can I please sleep with you? And she's like, no!
So,
Can I please just sleep with you?
I've been like this all night long. I'm going to sleep.
She was, and she was out in like 2.2 seconds.
so you could have hopped in then.
So I'm sitting there and I pull the things, and it's dark. It is dark, okay? And I pull the things, and I swear to my
Felt
mama,
something.
something just sits on top of me, and I'm closing
called
my
a
eyes
panic
like,
attack.
I am not opening my eyes. I am not opening my eyes. I don't care what on top of the guardrail. I don't open my eyes. I didn't sleep at all that night, right?
So
The maintenance
we're
man had a
sitting
great
waiting for
time.
them to come to breakfast and meet us.
Well, yeah.
Michelle, Susan comes walking in. Susan got this big old smile on her face, and Michelle looks like hell. I'm like, what the hell happened to you? She's like, I'm never ever doing this again. I'm not staying there. But she had called the hotel. What'd they tell you?
No, we went
No, we went back to the hotel because all our stuff
And the
was
key
in
works
hotel.
fine.
So we went back to the front desk, and they look at us, and then we're like telling them a story because now we need a refund. Like you locked us out of our hotel.
Right.
So Susan's talking to them. They're like, "Well, why didn't you ask George?"
No,
to let-"
wait. The lady's like, show me what
Oh.
you're talking about. Because
Yeah,
we're
she's
like,
like, "The key
the
is
doorknob
fine."
is hanging off the door. So we walk over and she puts the key and it looks all normal. She puts
Perfect.
the key in. She's like,
Works
it's a brand
fine.
new doorknob. We were like, it did not.
And then she's like, "Did
That
you
is
ask
so
George if you
funny.
come in?" And I said, "Where's the freaking sign to ask the ghost to allow you in the dang door?" Right?
That
Oh
is
my
too
god.
funny.
Oh,
So they did give us a refund.
Yeah.
George
So that
knew you
didn't
were
even freak
skeptical.
out, seeing like
If I was by myself or if he was making the situation worse, yes. But because she's so freaked out over the top.
You had to be-
Eric
you had to be
the
calm
It
one.
was hysterical. I was laughing myself.
I was fine, but she's cracking up. So then, like a little while later, she goes back with Rob, hoping to to get her experience staying in the haunted hotel.
and
Nothing.
Nothing happened.
nothing.
Nothing.
So
Completely
Rob
world.
thinks, because I like ghost story stuff, so he always wants to book us in places that are haunted so I can experience it. I'm like, I don't want to experience it, I want to watch it.
Well, that's a little while ago. I've been on this thing where I like to do the hot springs in Washington, so we've been planning them out. And
Wait, you're jumping to a different story. So
okay, go ahead.
he and I go to Casadega, and Rob's attitude is like, come get me, ghosts. And we're like, here I am.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's no fun.
All night long, I'm just like,
She's hearing every creak and lights turning on in the corner of her eyes.
Oh.
Or she'll plug in a nightlight and the nightlight will start blinking and that's somebody communicating. So recently I like to do the hot springs in Washington and that's not her thing. So I try to make it, it's a group activity. So I try and find places that are old or near ghost towns and things so we can check things out during the day.
When he says it's not my thing, Rob can literally sit in the hot spring tub for hours. And after an hour, I'm just like,
Ready to
I
go.
gotta do something. I can't take it anymore.
So I found this one place that looked really cool. Old, has the hot springs. All right, we're set. So we're driving along and we pull up, and as soon as we're pulling in the driveway, she goes, I'm not staying here. So at one time it was a hotel. It was later.
It was like a sanitarium.
A sanitarium.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's
Yeah.
a nice
Those are
place
not the
to
ghosts
stay.
you want.
Yeah. We're going to stay in a hotel. It's an ex-sanitarium. Good choice. Go ahead.
We're in the parking lot, and she looks it up, and it says the most haunted hotel in the United States. Oh man! I thought this was going to be so cool. So I don't even know if we went in. I think we might have gone in and dropped off our bags.
Yeah.
And then we went out to get lunch. And we're at lunch, and she goes, I don't know if we can stay there, blah, 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 blah. So the waitress comes over, and we're talking to her. We're like, do you know about this hotel? She goes, oh, I worked there for years. And then she basically talked Susan off the ledge.
Oh, that's good. So you stayed?
Was it okay?
Yeah.
Her story
Nothing
was that in
freak.
the 70s it was abandoned for a while. So the high school kids used to go out there and drink
Party,
and
yeah.
come up with all kinds of stories. So they're all adults now, and they're the ones telling everybody all these stories about what used to happen.
When they were probably on drugs
Yeah,
and
and
drunk
drunk.
and.
There's
Makes
a
sense.
movie about a writer that writes about these haunted places, and he goes and stays in one of them, and it's really freaky. Have you? Does that sound
What's the
familiar?
movie? You
I
don't
forget
know.
the
doesn't
name.
remember
I'll have
the
to look
name.
it up.
Yeah.
I want to say it's the I want to say it's Edward Norton is the actor,
Did you use that spoon to
but
eat?
it's
Mhm.
really
Oh. Was it out of there?
Yep.
Yeah.
it's really freaky. Like you
Oh,
can't get out of
okay.
this room.
Yep. That's why it's not back in there.
I never came close to a ghost story except one day I was hunting in the woods. Me and Bob, your dad. And it was an eerie day. It was, for some reason, the sky was eerie. It was hitting the leaves and everything was a eerie green color. So we're hunting and then we're on our way out. I mean, it was kind of eerie. And you have the not the crows, but the ravens. You ever hear a raven?
Yeah.
Could they be scared?
Yeah.
All day long. So, I mean, the setting was just right. So we're going up, we're going up